All right, we're live. Back in the house. We got a full house today. So first of all, thank y'all for hopping on the Facebook thread, the Facebook page, the YouTube channel. Smash that like and subscribe button. You know the drill. But Skylar and I are super excited this morning to bring Jennifer and Adrian to you from Elder Care. So they are truly like who make the magic happen for FFL Health. So it's funny when we started putting the FFL Health together, Sean asked us to kind of launch this. It became obvious within a few weeks that, man, we really need to partner with a group that has like long experience doing this. And one of the things, I think Elder Care was the 6th or 7th Integrity acquisition. Is that right?
Number 9.
Number 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Still in the single digits. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Still got the 00 code, right? So license to kill, right? Okay. So yeah, and I just love y'all's your back office and your support. And I know a lot of agents have given me that same feedback. So like whether nothing ever is going to be perfect and seamless and without issues, but what I love about y'all is like y'all's heart for the agents and for the industry is just, I think, unmatched. And so I'm super excited to have you guys on the call. And so Jennifer, Skylar, did you want to say anything about them?
Well, no, I just had it's been nice to work with them. Got to go to the event last year, got to meet everybody in person, and what a great group they are, and thankful to just be a part of it, and hopefully we can grow for a long time with them. Absolutely.
Yes. We feel the same.
I'm going to let you brag about us here in a second because that's my favorite part anyway. But Jennifer actually is the reason that we're having this call today. Okay. So Jennifer had called me a couple days ago and said, hey, with AEP coming up, one of the things that Elder Care does with a lot of the groups that they work with is they actually individually will call agents and make sure that each individual agent has their certifications done. They're ready to sell in the system. They know how to log into the portals. They run a quote or two. And she asked if they could do that with our agents. I said, absolutely. We'd love that. And let's do a kickoff call so everybody kind of knows what to expect. And if for some reason they're not able to connect with you individually, that you still have a place to go to reference the steps that you need to take. So with no further ado, Jennifer, Adrian, I'll turn it over to you guys.
Well, good morning. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We are super excited to have the opportunity to join you guys on your call today. And this is our favorite time of the year.
Yes,
I know we're crazy people, right? But I always call it the calm before the storm. But we're getting prepared. We want to make sure that you're prepared out there. And so today, we just number one wanted you to know when Elder Care calls you. This is the reason we're calling you, and we truly are an extension of who you are working with FFL Health.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to be your partners, and we want to help you be successful as well, especially in the Medicare, the health side of the business, all aspects of it. So this is Adrian.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. I'm sure I've talked to most of you already, but super excited to talk about how you can get ready this AEP.
Yeah. So we've got a couple slides, right? We're going to go through a readiness, pre-AEP readiness. If you guys, I know Eric mentioned our conference, which is September 16th and 17th in beautiful Hot Springs, Arkansas. We welcome any of you guys to come down and join us this year. There's lots of things happening this AEP, some disruptions and things like that. Our conference is a little different. We truly spend a lot of time trying to educate you with the tools and everything that you need to be able to be successful during AEP.
And know the people that have your bag.
Yes.
And who to call if you need something.
Yes.
I think we are good to go on the screen.
Okay.
So the screens are just kind of... I played our song. Are not exactly what's going to happen on the phone call, because that's going to be really specific to the agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very one-on-one, because it depends on the county.
Yeah.
Depends on the carrier.
Yes.
What are all the variants?
Well, we're just making sure we want to review your portfolio. We want to make sure that you have the carriers that you need in those portfolios. And like Adrian was saying, they're going to be different because there are a lot of disruptions this AEP. So some carriers are pulling out, new carriers are coming in.
Mhm.
So we're going to be really specific and intentional on those calls to make sure that you have everything you need, certifications, how to get in there, all of the things that you need to be prepared.
Yes, and all of you should be aware that you do have access to eldercarebroker.com, and that's where you can log in to see your carrier appointments with us.
Yes.
And this is also where you can see the sneak peek dude. So he is kind of a preview of what's to come for the 2025 plans. So you have full access to look at all of this information yourself. But the great thing about working with us is we have the marketers that are going to be reaching out to you who have already done the research.
Yes.
They already know what's happening. And so they're going to talk to you and ask you what areas you plan on selling in,
Mm-hmm.
what carriers you plan on representing, what products. I mean, even though the main thing is Medicare Advantage,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to ask you about Medicare Supplement, hospital indemnity,
ACA, all of the things.
Yes.
We're here to help you with. So if you don't know how to get to Elder Care Broker, like she said, the sneak peek, which is our little burglar dude, we love him. He's really important because you get a preview of what the plans are going to look like, which plans are maybe changing this year. In some cases, which ones are non-commissionable, all of those different things you're going to be able to see. I think we're still waiting on one major carrier that has not released their 2025s yet.
Mm-hmm.
So any of those areas that you are selling with these carriers, that information should be there for you to look at.
Yes. And if you need help getting logged in to Elder Care Broker, just reach out and we'll be able to help you set that password. Or if you're going there, you can easily hit forgot password and get in.
Yes. So mainly get contracted and get certified.
Yes.
That's what you need to do.
Yes. If you haven't already, hopefully most of you already have.
Yes. We'd like to say by September 1st,
Mhm.
first week of September, you should be ready to go certified. It kind of just relieves a little less stress because these certifications open usually, AHIP's June, middle of June, late June, and then those certifications start rolling out after that. And then some are time consuming and some are a little more difficult than others. And we want to make sure there are also maximum times that you can fail a certification. And so give yourself enough time. Don't stress by trying to cram it all in on October 14th because you're not going to be ready to sell and have permissions in the Medicare Center if you wait till October 14th to do your certifications.
Please don't do that.
Yes.
Yeah. And some of you might know this, but there is a lag between that time when you do those certifications to when it shows in Medicare Center. So having them done ASAP is really, really important.
Yes.
Because we're even still mapping some carriers. So it takes time to get it all in there. So if you're ahead and you're doing those certs, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say too, that this happened to me last year is I wasn't paying attention to the number of times that you can take a certification with one of the carriers. And I thought that I had locked myself out of being able to certify. And thankfully I had screwed something else up and actually was able to get it done. However, I was really terrified for a minute, like, oh my gosh, like I'm not going to have this carrier. So like, please pay attention to, the instructions that the carriers are giving you. And that's the purpose of these calls too. It hit real close to home for me last year. So
because the other part of that, Eric, is it's not that you just won't even be able to sell. If you've sold for them the year prior or throughout the year and you are not certified, you no longer get renewals until you're
on all
certified.
the policies you said.
Yeah. So it's really important if you get to that time in which that you're failing a couple times, we want to make sure that, call us for, make sure that you're in the right place, that you're not walking away. Because I know on one of the carriers, if you start a certification and then you say, oh, I'm going to come back and I'm going to finish it, that's one attempt. And let's say that was your fourth attempt or fifth attempt, and then you're locked out of there. So just call us for guidance is definitely so important.
Yes, our agent service team has been assisting agents with these certifications, so they know the ins and outs of the guides, like the portals, the steps, the study guides that you can use. So please, if you're ever hesitant, reach out to us so we can make sure that you haven't passed that limit.
Yes.
And I believe all of you are getting emails from Elder Care. And so every Friday we send out an e-blast. We call it the cert check. All of them are mostly open now. So all of them you can be doing. But on that cert check email, there is a blog link on there that has all of the carrier cert links, all of the carrier cert guides, all in one place for you. So if you're needing that resource, just let us know. We're happy to get it to you.
Yes, for sure.
And so we're just going to talk a little bit more about the different reasons why you would contract with certain carriers.
Yeah.
Value is definitely number one. Cheapest does not equal value. And then find out what your clients actually value in their health plan.
Yeah. And so for some of you, I know that the health side of the business is newer to you. And so we want to help guide you and help train you and get you ready to go. And so also, along with those cert check emails, we do have webinars every week. You guys are welcome to jump on. We do a lot of training on those. On Thursdays at 10 o'clock is our health training. But we are going to tell you, this is why you need this carrier, the value of it, the network, the doctors, and all of these things are going to vary per your client's needs and wants, right? And so, but we're going to tell you this one has, these plan with these benefits. This year is going to be a little different, right? And some of these plans are not going to be here next year. You're losing this benefit. So really, what is the value that you have of this particular plan that you have? And then PDPs, of course, are a big thing this year that is going to affect if you write Medicare supplements, which you all should be doing as well. You're writing a standalone PDP. That PDP world's going to change this year. That's another thing that we're going to go over really heavily at our kickoff, which undoubtedly will affect your MAPDs because they're one and the same when you're talking the cost of the PDPs for that. And then always on Medicare Advantage, even with some Medicare supplements, cheapest is not always the best, right? When
that's all products.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even clothing.
Yeah. Sometimes cheaper is better on clothing. But what it is, like on a Medicare supplement, what's their rate increase history? How often are they taking those rate increases? And when you're looking at someone, and I could go on a soapbox, I'm going to try to make this quick, but you're looking at someone that is aging in at turning 65. They don't have to answer the health questions because they're in that open enrollment. But I'm an agent myself too, and I write business myself. But one of the things that I look at is I still ask their health, what has happened in their health, right? Because if I've got someone that I know, when I put them on a Medicare supplement because of their health conditions, the likelihood of them being able to change is probably pretty narrow. Yeah. And I want to look at somebody that hasn't had double-digit rate increases if I can. Sometimes you can't help that. Right. But I know I can go on and on.
Yes. And hopefully this isn't overwhelming you, especially if you're new to selling Medicare products. This is just to help you know that we know these things for you.
Yes.
Right. I see some comments happening, but I think Eric's tackling them. So thank you.
Awesome. Yes.
So let's talk about having like a winning AEP.
We all want a winning AEP.
What's that trophy look like to you?
Yeah.
I would say number one, you don't lose any clients if you have existing clients.
Yes.
That should be the number one goal.
Yes. You want to go through this?
We can start. Yeah. So October 1st, especially for those of you who are newer to offering Medicare products, you can start marketing AEP. So I guess I could have stepped back to September and what you could be doing in September. So right now you can be, updating your clients' information, gathering their prescriptions, their doctors, getting that scope of appointment ready. And then October 1st is when you can actually start your outbound marketing, talking about,
Benefits
plan
and plans
information
with your existing clients.
Yes. And then October 1st is also when the CMS landscapes come out. So if you're not familiar with what that is, every year CMS releases these spreadsheets. That's what they are. They are spreadsheets that list every single plan, every carrier, in every single county. This is one way you can count the products you represent and know what is in a specific county for that plan year. Normally it's October 1st. It might take them a few days. I think October 8th is the latest I've seen CMS come out with those spreadsheets. So be watching for that. You want to, have that resource. Cost of living adjustments will be announced and star ratings will come out as well on October 1st.
And then October 15th, the Super Bowl begins, right? It's
Yes.
the biggest, the biggest selling season parts of our year. A lot of our business is written in the last quarter of the year every year. But you can start writing applications, submitting applications in the Medicare Center, and meet with your clients, review, all of the things that you need to review with them and get them set up for the year prior. But, in that time frame of October 1st, what Adrian was saying is you can go ahead and be getting, appointments scheduled, scope signed, all of those different things, and all the great new tools that at the Medicare Center has came out with this year that we can. You had one yesterday, right? That went over all of the different things. So if you weren't on that webinar yesterday, we will be doing many, many more of those prior to October 15th. But that's when it begins. Goes through December 7th. If you don't know, the cutoff is December 7th for Medicare Advantage. And then, of course, if you're writing ACA, that goes further past that. I think ACA starts November 1st through January 15th. And that's when for ACA open enrollment too. And then follow up. Make sure that you're following up. I cannot express this enough, how many times that I've had agents say, well, I submitted that PDP, October 20th and we're to December 6th and the carrier is saying they don't have it. So you have to follow up with your applications, make sure that they went through all of those things. And also remember last app wins. Yes. So if you submit an app October 20th and another agent comes in and submits an app December 6th,
or October 21st.
Or October 21st. Yep. Last app wins. So you want to make sure you're in constant communication with your clients.
Yes, absolutely. And Integrity is doing technology trainings as well on Medicare Center. Hopefully you're all attending those trainings because everything that we're talking about, you can check and use Medicare Center for that. So you can send those emails to your clients in there to get those prescriptions. You can.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you guys have a like an outward facing scheduled page like that where like an agent could see the different upcoming trainings that are available? Because we'll make a link to that on our website.
Yeah, it's on eldercarebroker.com under trainings.
Okay, perfect.
I believe so. Yeah. It is. It has the full schedule of we put all of our webinars on there and we put all of Integrity's on there. So you can always see any upcoming trainings if you want to watch it live. Of course, watching trainings live, it's best because you can ask the questions to get the answer right away from the source.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I just did.
Yeah, exactly. All righty. Well, I think that's all we have for like the presentation part, but we're more than welcome to continue the conversation about the calls we're going to be making. Just remind everyone.
Yeah. So we're just going to be calling you saying, hey, we're just checking in with you. We want to make sure that you've started your certifications for X, Y, and Z carrier. We see that, let's say if you're in Georgia, Devoted's Georgia's a new state for Devoted this year. Is that a carrier that you need to have? And then of course we'll check with Eric and make sure, we get you the contract links and all that. So Eric, we're probably going to be pushing a lot of stuff to you and saying, we need this one with this one, this one with that one. So we want to make sure that we're communicating with all of you guys and just getting you truly prepared for this AEP.
And our phone number is that on the screen. So if you see that 800 number calling you, it's us.
Yes. And you have full access to us. So you don't have to hesitate calling us. That's our partnership with Eric and Skylar and everybody. We want to make sure that we're an extension, and we've got a full team that is here to serve you. And so please let us know and help you be able to be more successful.
Yes.
Cool. I think I got the phone number right. Is that right?
Yes.
9322? Yeah. Okay, perfect. I'll leave that up there just for a minute. If you guys want to save that into your phones so that, because one thing so I found this super annoying when I first started working with you guys, but now I love it. It's kind of one of those things that, it's like being in a new relationship. You're like, oh man, why does she do things that way? And then you're like, oh man, I'm so grateful she does that. So they have one phone number. So like when I try to call Adrienne or Jennifer, I don't have a direct number, which that was super annoying at the beginning, But what I love about it is during, business hours, your phone call gets picked up by a human being. You tell them who you want and what you need. And that way, like, I know I'm going to be taken care of by somebody on the team, even if my favorite person can't pick up the phone right now, right?
Because we're on a webinar with you.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they're doing TLC with somebody else, that's probably in worse shape than I am. So that's good. What is one of the big things that you guys are noticing? So, Skylar, if you've got a question or two, you can hop in as well. But what's one of the biggest things that you guys are noticing that's different this year than maybe previous years, like if anything? So like, I know we've got some agents on here that they've never sold Medicare before, and this is all new to them. But we have a handful that have been doing this a while, and that, just like, is there anything that you guys have seen that you're like, oh man, this is really exciting, or hey, this is was a challenge for a couple people, but we helped them see it this other way, or whatever? Anything like that?
Immediately when you said that, I was just thinking in general of our industry, how, the changes that are coming this year, plans pulling out. But what's super exciting is all the work that Integrity has done with our technology. The exciting things that Adrienne was talking about, that now you can send emails to your clients. They've really enhanced the plan enroll where your clients can go and be putting in their prescriptions, updating their prescriptions for you, and that client sync. So there are some amazing tools that I'm super excited about that we've been wanting for years, that now they're listening. And that's the great thing with Integrity. They listen. They send polls out, and they really want to know what agents want. So that's super exciting. And so I would say that's the one thing we've helped them with. All the wants, the agents have said, hey, Medicare Center is great, but if it had this, it would be even better. Adrienne is in constant communication with all the team at Integrity, and she truly is passionate about it. And so I'm bragging on her, but she's truly passionate about it. And she does every one of your wants and every one of your needs. She is telling them, hey, this is what agents want, and they're listening. And so I think that's so important in what we do today, is that you have the big team behind you that's actually listening. They're not just up there saying, this is how you should do it because this, they're listening, and they're really putting that stuff into play for you guys to make your lives easier. And when you're not having to think, is this compliant? It is because they've done all that for you. So
yeah, that's a big change. I feel like most everything is the same year after year. But the new things, definitely the Inflation Reduction Act is new, but in that, the technology features that are new as well for this year from previous years.
And my last little soapbox on this is that you're going to have a lot of, you might hear, Eric, your agent say, well, this person is saying about this CRM and all these tools that they have that work underneath somebody else. But how much is that costing you? You know, how much is that CRM costing you? Everything that Integrity puts out is free to agents. There's no cost to it. And they are enhancing the crap out of it. So, you know, that's one thing to always think about. Why pay for something when you can get something over here that's not at no cost to you?
Yeah. Yeah. Did that answer the question?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think that's that's one of the great things about being an Integrity partner from my point of view is that I remember coming to visit you guys for the first time, and you all showed me your system for tracking premium and how, like, you know, if you log into Elder Care Broker here and you can go to your dashboard and you can see your personal production from every carrier.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, what is this system? And you guys were like, oh, we built this ourselves. But now Integrity uses it. So like, that whole web app that we have, the T65 app, that was the Elder Care creation that's now been, you know, co-opted by everybody. But that's what's really cool is that, like, every partner and every agent that's working with a partner gets to profit from all of the advances in creative thinking that have been going on at all the other partners. So I love that, you know. I had an agent asking me the other day, this team's wanting to come over, and they're like, well, the one thing we need is, you know, the place that we work with now, like, they pay for Sunfire for every agent. I mean, what do y'all charge for Sunfire? I'm like, oh, dude, like that's totally free. That's built into Medicare Center, you know. And and not only do we have that, but we have all these other things too. And let me show you how this works. And they were just blown away by, like, the CRM, the way that you can call and have your calls recorded. And we've got a lot of agents on the life side that have transitioned to using, because now all the life products are in there too for final expense. So it's
that inspired them to see, like, if they're writing that life in there, that they should be writing that health in there as well.
And I think one thing that people maybe haven't tried is that plan and roll system. And so, like, I have a link that if you guys want to see how this looks, I have if you guys want to type that in on your web browser, wherever you are, if you're watching this, but this is a kind of a link that I built for myself that goes directly to the plan and my personal plan and roll.
You're
site.
So creative.
And, and so if you use that, and you can create something like this for yourself, you could go to GoDaddy, for example, and buy, you know, quotes, MedicareFromAdrian.com or something, you know, and have it forward to your plan and roll site. And the thing is, if you go, you know, for you agents that are watching this, if you go visit that is 100% free and paid for and built out of Medicare Center, or now Integrity.com, whatever. What is the official nomenclature now for
Integrity Suite of, what is it?
Well, we call it Integrity for Agents.
Oh, okay.
Or
see, I knew that you would have some name. I'm sure wordsmith carefully around.
Integrity's full suite of technology.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a short name. I like that. Integrity's full suite of So anyway, Integrity.com. When you build out your profile, all this stuff is already fortunately, like, automatically scraped basically from all the contracts that you already have with carriers, and then they build this profile for you. You can go in there and change things, and then that makes that website work basically. So I didn't have to build that or do anything, and now people can go to that site. And I can send this to a client. I sent it to my mom and dad the other day. They're like, well, what are our options? I'm like, well, here, just go here and we can walk through it, you know, when you have some more time. So I just I love the fact that we have all these things, and we just we can do a better job of, like, helping the agents understand how to use them. And so I really appreciate you guys being on here for that. Skylar, you got anything from your end?
Yeah. So I got a question about with brand new agents, because we got, you know, quite a few brand new agents on here that some of them haven't even been through their AHIP yet. As they progress, I guess the question is, and agents ask this all the time, shouldn't I have every single carrier in my area? For brand new agents, what do you recommend for having the carriers, or how many carriers to have so they don't get overwhelmed? Can they get carriers later on during AEP? Is there any blackout periods, things of that nature? What would you suggest to a new agent?
So on Medicare Advantage, there are blackouts typically just for transfers. Some carriers have blackouts where they close contracting down, but very few do that. If you're brand new into getting the contract, you can get it. My recommendation, and I've been doing this a long time, but I always say, you need the top, probably, if the major 5 MA carriers are in your area, you probably need those 5. And then I always recommend 3 Medicare supplements as well, the top 3 Medicare supplements. So if you came to me and those are what I'm going to start you with. And then if you need to add those, absolutely. And the thing with carriers is if you decide, hey, when you're running a quote, hey, I need this carrier because it's coming up the best, it's really quick to add. And I would say 7 to 10 days is a turnaround for it. Now, during AEP, that's going to be some crunch time, right? Because every day matters. So that's why now is the time to prepare and do a portfolio review to make sure that you have the carriers you need. Some are regional carriers. Some you might need, like I would always suggest an agent in Arkansas have Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's a regional carrier. But some of those regional carriers you might need, and you're going to see that by looking at the sneak peeks and seeing the plans, which ones are coming up the best, all of that. So it's always a game of adding and taking away which ones you're going to use, which ones you're not. So it's going to be a constant on that.
Yeah. And the nice thing about what you're about to do with the agents is you're about to make a phone call, see what's in their portfolio,
yes,
in their area, go through that with them to make sure that they have that stuff. So thank you for doing that.
Yes.
That's a real helpful tool from you guys. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, we certainly want to make sure that we're here to help everybody succeed, because if, as Brian Adams says, rising tides raises all boats. So we want to make sure we're doing that for you.
All right,
That's
cool.
what I got here.
I had one other question for you guys, a practical question. So if I'm a new agent watching this and I'm like, well, how do I do a portfolio review or whatever? I know you guys are going to be proactive in terms of calling people and trying to get people on the schedule. But if some agent wanted to cut the line and, get on y'all's radar sooner, how could they do that?
They can just give us a call at that number you called and reach out. Melanie Lemke is over my recruiter. She helps manage the partnership with FFL Health. So you can reach out and ask for Melanie. You can ask to speak to me, and I can help you on the contracting side for the trainings and all that. You can ask to speak to Adrian, and we'll help you anytime we can. Now we do close at noon on Friday, so don't think we're ignoring your calls, because that's really important to us. We always have, like Eric says, we always have someone answer the phone. But on Fridays, we are very blessed that we get to close at noon on Central Standard Time. So if you call us after that, we'll call you back.
All right, perfect. Guys, thank you so much for being on here. For those of y'all that are watching live and watching recording, thanks for tuning in, and feel free to reach out to me, to Skylar, Aaron, Jennifer, Adrian, anybody directly, and we'll get you set up the way that you need to be with your specific use case. So appreciate it, guys. Have a great Friday.
Bye.
Bye.